Hello friends, this is Akash Misar here and welcome back to my YouTube channel, that is Mechanical Engineering Make. In that we are moving with engineering mechanics and this is 8th lecture. In that we are going to take the discussion on like terms center of gravity or centroid, then center of mass, then some work done by frictional force, work done, then kinetic energy, potential energy, etc, etc. There are number of basic concepts that we are going to take into account today's lecture. So we will start with center of gravity or centroid. Okay, what exactly center of gravity is? The gravity force is supposed to act from that one point, that is nothing but center of gravity. Okay, the point through which the resultant gravity force is supposed to act. For example, this is one cube I have shown here. Okay, as this is cube, so the point which is at center of this cube, okay, exactly center of this cube, which will be nothing but center of gravity, and from that point all the gravitational force or resultant gravitational force is supposed to be act from that point. Okay, there may be some different cases like H section is there, for example U section is there. So now what will happen, that point center of gravity point may lie somewhere here. From that point all the gravitational force is supposed to act, okay, through that point. This is nothing but center of gravity. Okay, then there is another term, that is nothing but center of mass. Okay, next is center of mass. So what is center of mass? Again it is also the point like center of gravity, but only the difference is that the entire mass of body is supposed to be concentrated at that one point. Okay, so if I will take example of this cube itself, then the CG and center of mass will be at the same location, because as it is cube and I have considered the cube which is a homogeneous cube, maybe made of wood or maybe made of iron, but that is homogeneous material. Okay, so that's why the CG, that is center of gravity, and center of mass will be at same point. All the mass is supposed to be concentrated at this point only, and all the gravitational force is supposed to be act from this point only. And if I will consider the section like, okay, then gravity will also lie on this point, and the center of mass will also lie on this point, because this is axis of symmetry. And ultimately I have considered this limb and this limb will have same thickness. If I will vary thickness, for example this is thickness T1 and this is thickness T2, so ultimately what will happen, if T1 is greater than T2, then this point will shift somewhere here. Okay, that is nothing but center of mass, because the mass concentrated at this limb which is greater than mass concentrated at this limb, so ultimately that center of mass will shift somewhere here. And in center of gravity and center of mass, number of times you may get confused, because there is possibility that at the number of times the CG and center of mass will lie at same point. Okay, so don't get confused, only recall the basic, that what exactly center of gravity is, that is nothing but the resultant gravitational force is supposed to be act from that point. And what is center of mass, all the mass of that body is supposed to be concentrated at that one point only. This is nothing but center of mass. So ultimately you will get idea about CG and center of mass. Okay, so I assume that you will get clear idea about what exactly CG and what exactly center of mass. And if you have confusion, then you can comment me, you can ask me, so I will definitely try to remove your doubt. Then next, how we can calculate the CG? Calculation of CG. Okay, there is one method for calculation of CG. For example, this is one body and we need to calculate the CG of this body. So how we will calculate? Okay, we will consider simply, this will be first body, this will be second body, second section, first section, second section and third section. And from considering these three sections, we will calculate X bar and Y bar. So a1 x1 plus a2 x2 plus a3 x3 divided by a1 plus a2 plus a3 will give us value of x bar, that is nothing but x coordinate of CG of that point. So what is that? a1 x1. Okay, what is a1? a1 is area of body, that section 1. x1 will be, okay, the center of x coordinate. For example, if this is center, then we will simply consider this body as xy coordinate, okay, x and y. So what exactly this point at this is nothing but x1, then a2 x2, again area of point, that section 2 and x2, that will also same, then a3 x3, then again x3 will also same. So ultimately x bar will become directly that a1 okay, from this formula we will get to know what exactly x bar. So the general formula for x bar is summation of ai xi upon summation of ai. This is general formula for x bar. Okay, from this figure I am only considering very simplest figure for your conceptual clarification, and from that I have designed this formula, and this is generalized formula of x bar. Similarly, y bar also have same formula, that is summation of ai yi upon summation of ai. Okay, similarly only I will replace here y1 y2 y3, all other parameters are same, so I will get the value of y bar. So I get the value of x bar and y bar. For example, I get x bar on this axis, for example, and y bar nearly here. So ultimately this will be my CG. Okay, this will be my CG. So according to figure, if there is figure which is complicated, like there are different shapes, so I will consider different shapes, and according to that shapes I will discrete that shape into different shapes. That shapes I can calculate the area. Likewise here I have considered 3 rectangles. Depending on that I will consider different shapes and calculate x bar and y bar. This is the calculation of CG. This is also too much basic, but it is too much important for our study. Okay, and again there is one term that is remaining here, and what is that? Okay, in some cases there may be chances that we will consider only 1D figure. Okay, so in that case x bar equal to summation of li xi upon summation of l. Okay, what is li? Li is length. As we have considered only 1D figure, so ultimately we will not have the value of area, we will only have value of L. So this will be for that. Then again y bar will equal to summation of li yi upon summation of li. Okay, so these are two formulas, but before that we have used two formulas, that is summation of ai xi upon summation of ai and y bar summation of ai yi upon summation of ai. That formulas are too much important. 99% we need to use that formulas. Only 1% there may be chances that we need to use these two formulas. Okay, so that note down these formulas also, but that formulas are too much important. Then next parameter, as we know there are the types of energy, kinetic energy and potential energy. So what are the formulas for kinetic energy and potential energy, and what exactly kinetic energy is and what exactly potential energy is? If there is any body which have motion, okay, so that motion of that body means that kinetic, okay, the presence of kinetic energy. If any body which is in motion means that body have some kinetic energy, and if body is at rest means that body don't have any kinetic energy. So that kinetic energy is equal to half mv square, mass into velocity. As I given you idea about kinetic energy, if any body is there and that body have some motion, then only that body will have kinetic energy, because here the parameter is velocity, mass into velocity. If velocity is 0, ultimately kinetic energy will become 0. Then what is exactly potential energy is? Potential energy is nothing but, we can say, internal energy of that body. That body contains that amount of energy, that is mgh. So what are the parameters? Mass, acceleration due to gravity, and h. For example, this is ground level and this is our building, and here we are standing, and in our hand we have one ball. So that ball have this much height from ground. So ultimately what will happen, if we are going to release that ball from that position, that because of this potential energy, that will grab some velocity and etc etc. So this is nothing but energy contained by that ball, which is mgh. Okay, this is formula for potential energy, this is formula for kinetic energy. So note down these two formulas. I know these two formulas are too much basic, you may know, but again I need to complete all the syllabus of GATE, that's why I am giving you all basic concepts also. If you have any confusion, then you can connect with me in comment box, otherwise you can go to description box. There is I have provided the Telegram link also. Okay, then next is work done by frictional force. Okay, friction force. So that work done will equal to that friction force into S. Okay, what is F? That is frictional force, and S is displacement. So ultimately frictional force is mu k into N into S. So this is coefficient of kinetic friction, as work done is going to happen there. So ultimately there is no chance that body will be at rest. So body is moving. Okay, and as body is moving, so there is friction at the bottom, and because of that frictional force, what amount of work done is happening on the body? So that is nothing but F into S, that is frictional force into displacement. And what exactly the frictional force is? Frictional force is coefficient of friction into normal reaction of that body. Okay, that body may have the mass m, so that will act m into g downward, so normal reaction L will be upward. Okay, so this is very simplest form of mg and n. Here I have shown you. So ultimately the coefficient of friction into normal reaction into displacement will give us the value of work done by the frictional force. So note down this formula also. Then next is work done by gravitational force. Work done by gravitational force. Because of gravitational force, the work done will equal to mgh. Same as potential energy. What exactly potential energy we have? Same formula is there, mgh. Again work done by gravitational force, same formula is there, that is mgh. Because if there is particle which is at height h, then ultimately the work done by gravitational force will be mgh. That mg is acting downward into h, that will give us the value of work done. Okay, so this is very basic, that is nothing but work done by gravitational force. So note down this formula also. Then next is by spring force. Work done by spring force, that will equal to work done equal to half k x1 square minus x2 square. Okay, so what exactly it is? Work done by spring force. K is stiffness of spring, you may know this, stiffness of spring, and these x1 and x2 are displacement of spring. Okay, so there may be chances that, okay, and ultimately this work done will be negative, because if I will draw one figure here. Okay, this is one spring. At the starting, if I have attached mass, okay, and initially that spring was not having any deflection, but while attaching mass, okay, that spring is deflected with some amount, that may be x1. Okay, but after that what happened? we have applied one external force, so because of that what happened, that mass m goes to this position and ultimately the displacement becomes here, that is x2. So what will happen, as x1 is less than x2, so this negative sign will come here and ultimately work done will be negative, because we are pulling it downward and the spring is going to take that mass upward. Okay, that's why the negative sign will come here. But if you are not getting that, then only remember this formula. Other things I will cover while the vibrations and that points. Okay, I have designed separate playlist for all the separate subjects. In that I am going to come up with vibrations also. So in that lectures I will give you idea about this spring force and etc etc. But before that, only note down that is work done by spring force, that is half k x1 square minus x2 square. K is stiffness and x1 and x2 are displacement of that spring. Okay, so we will move towards next and last topic of our lecture, that is nothing but bonus points for today's lecture. Okay, so before that, if you are enjoying my session, then please like, share and subscribe. If you have any suggestion or any doubt or any confusion, then you can reach me with the help of comment box. Bonus point. So in case of bonus point, we are going to study one new concept, that is nothing but truss. In next lecture I will come up with detail of truss, but in today's lecture I am only giving you one basic idea of truss. What exactly truss is? It is nothing but a rigid structure of number of straight members. It is rigid structure. For example, okay, there may be, this is one kind of rigid structure, because as this is there are number of triangles, so triangle is again such a kind of structure which is not going to deflect. Okay, there are number of links here, link 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11, total 11 links I have used, and all links are connected into triangular form. So ultimately this forms one rigid structure, and this rigid structure is called as truss. Okay, then next parameter is, again this rigid structure will join with the help of pin joints. Okay, here are pin joints will be there at all the joints. Then next is types of truss. There are different types of truss. Okay, what are that? That are nothing but plain truss, then rigid truss and simple truss. What exactly plain truss is? Plain truss means the whole truss is in only one plane. As I have shown you here, this is only in one plane. There may be chances that if I am going to draw the 3D figure, then in that case that plain truss will convert into another truss. That will not be plain truss. But as per as the 2D drawing is considered, this is nothing but plain truss. Okay, then next is rigid truss. Rigid truss is nothing but do not collapse after loading also. Means as the main purpose of truss is to hold load, there may be chances that number of loads will be here. Okay, and after loading also, if the truss is not failing, that means that truss is rigid truss. Okay, then next is simple truss. Simple truss means just we have joined all the triangles, all the elements into triangular form. This is nothing but simple truss. Okay, there are different forms also, but as per as the strength is concerned, triangular form gives us more strength. That's why probably in number of cases we use the triangular form there. And if we are using all the shapes into triangular forms, then ultimately that will become the simple truss. Okay, so these are the types of truss, and what exactly truss, I have given you a basic definition of truss also. So in next lecture I will come up with some depth knowledge of truss. But before that, please like, share and subscribe, and we will meet again. Stay tuned for that. We will meet again. Thank you friends.